What's going on, moms and dads? You are listening or watching because we're live on Twitter and YouTube. I didn't tell you guys that. We're live to the latest episode of the Fade You podcast. Today is Saturday, July 15th. It's been a while since we potted, so we've got a lot to catch up on. It's July, and there's nothing to do. There's literally nothing to watch. I don't know if you guys can
Niner
see.
game on.
I have the Niners game against the Cowboys from the divisional round this season. There's nothing on the board.
Hammer the under.
Yes, sir. So before we get caught up, just remember the Fade You podcast is a sports betting show for the everyday bettor. Whether you're a total degenerate and you're betting on every single thing in the middle of the summer when there's nothing on, or you're just looking for a little action, maybe this upcoming football season, we're glad you're here and checking out our show, whether you're brand new or you've been with us for a while. And if you're checking this one out, you must be a true Fade You diehard, because here we are recording in the middle of the July with no sports on. We are so desperate for football, it's not even funny. My name is Matt. I've got a cavalcade of dads here with me tonight. Kmart's here. Kyle, how you doing?
Good. I'm kind of confused how it's already the middle of July. Like, last 2 months have flown, but 1 month to go. Let's go.
That's right. We've got training camps in just a couple of weeks, so we'll talk about football here throughout the show a little bit. We'll start to dabble in a little bit of football. But Chris Duke is here, clean-shaven Chris Duke. That is not something I see all the time. Chris, how you doing, Dad?
Great, Dad. I drunkenly hammered the dog Vonda Rosova in the women's female Wimbledon, and that was a winner. So you got to love it. I checked that. You said she looks like a beast or something, and I checked. She won 6-4, 6-4 straight. So let's go. Don't sleep on the WNBA either, Matt.
Only thing straight about her.
She hits it like a beast, Chris. Don't put words in my mouth, Dad. Don't do that to me. Yeah, Chris texted the group last night at 10:59 p.m. With a bunch of ladies Wimbledon championship bets, just absolutely hammering at 11 p.m. last night. Were you wrecked?
Yeah, and I had to do it because I think it went off at 6 a.m. our time. So I'm like, I'm not getting up for that shit. So do it the night.
These are fun 2 weekends because you got Wimbledon, you got the ladies was this morning, the men's actually is going to be a really good match tomorrow morning. And here on the West Coast, if you're an early riser, if you got a baby or you got a dog or something that wakes you up, put a pot of coffee on, little breakfast at Wimbledon. Next weekend, you got the Open Championship that's going to be on bright and early, so it's a good time for us. So even though we have no football, we still got a lot going on. But Chris, we're glad you're here. Now, Chris, you told me when I told Chris we were going to do a Saturday night pod, you told me you'd be torched by 8 p.m. Are you torched or not quite there yet?
We went to the beach today for a little bit, and then we watched Sound of Freedom, but we took a few beverages in, ordered some, then went to dinner. I'm on 2 or 3 glasses of wine. So I'm not torched, but feeling good, Matthew.
We're getting there. We love it. And the last dad with us tonight. Now, frequent listeners of the pod, when I ask them what they want more of, what they wish we would do differently, every single person says, we want more Jared. We need more Jared. We need the big guy. The big guy's hilarious. So we brought him back. We got Jared here tonight. He is at Fat Bills Fan on Twitter. And yes, he lives up to it in real life. It's great to have you, Jared. How are you doing?
Doing excellent. You guys, the only reason why I was able to hop on the pod is because Saturday night is literally the only night I don't have something going on. So I'm glad to be here, glad to catch up. And I've got some descendants. Can we see it here? So boom, we're gonna yug here in a little bit.
Now that's excellent. Jared sent me a yug on my birthday, which was just I mean, what more could you ask for? It was phenomenal. Jared's the best yugger in the group, hands down. No question, no contest. Now, we were talking recently. So somebody had a yug, and you said that you'd never been scared to lose maybe a yug off until you saw. Who was that? Do you remember?
Jason Kelsey.
That's right. Oh my God.
Man. Hey, that was intimidating for the first time in my life. Hey, he's, like I said in the group chat, he's got a better beard than me. He's he's a athletic fat guy. I'm just a fat guy. And dude, that yug was impressive. So first time I was nervous.
Yeah, 100%. That was pretty good. But yeah, Jared is a legendary Yugger for sure. So Jared showed us what he's drinking. I'm drinking a Jack and Diet for Joe, who I would fully expect is obliterated right now in Havasu. Joe, cheers, Dad. I hope you're blacked out of your mind right now on the lake. And Chris, you got some red. What are you drinking?
Little Justin out of Paso, pretty nice
Okay.
little tasty cab.
Okay, like it. Kmart, you drinking tonight?
I'm not.
Oh man! All right.
Memo. I got a nice short glass of agua. But in my defense, I am waking up early to drive to Arizona, so I'm trying to not get crazy,
not be dead.
Okay.
Yeah, and
we'll see if we can.
I might appear tired. I was in Joshua Tree last night till midnight playing Galileo, just stargazing at the Milky Way. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Check it out tonight if you go outside.
Some something that starts with M and rhymes with rooms.
Paiute or something.
Rooms.
Any aliens up there, Kmart?
Well, when I first, got my scope, ready, I start looking out and I see this thing streak across the sky, and I'm like, oh, it's a satellite. But then with the naked eye, I was showing Sam, I was like, hey, look at these clusters up here. Look, there's something just flying away with no light. It's just I was like, I don't know, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. But no, nothing obvious. Just a bunch of fucking 6-inch beetles just flying into your face. So that was pretty unique.
Damn.
Sounds like some
dude. If that's 6 inches, we're in trouble.
That. Jesus. Well, we got listeners all over the country. People deal with bugs that we don't deal with a lot here in California. You got bugs up in the valley there, Jared? What kind of mosquito bullshit do you have going on up there in the heat?
Dude, hey, these mosquitoes up here love this fat boy, dude. It must be the constant Snickers diet, dude. They are feeding today, dude. I look, and it's what's bad, man, is I'm like a meth addict, dude. I can't not scratch them, so I've got meth sores all around my ankles and elbows, dude. So,
God. All right. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. In prepping for the show, I'm like, okay, why did we want to have Jared on again? Is there anything specific we wanted to talk about? And I'm trying to rack my brain. I actually took a shower before the show, and I was thinking about Jared. Jared, did we share a bed in Vegas, or did I just dream that?
No, dude, it was, there are a lot of people that have dreamt about that. You were one of the few that has actually got to do it.
Okay. I couldn't remember if that was just a dream or if that actually really happened, but no, Jared is phenomenal to snuggle with in bed.
Jared, how often do you do that? He took a shower and was thinking of you. That's special.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really jealous because usually Matt's my snuggle partner in Vegas.
Right. So yeah.
I got stuck with fucking Chris one night. He was just thrashing around all drunk, and I'm like, oh my God.
Matt uses that word share pretty generously. I mean, as you can tell by looking at the both of us, there was one of those that dominated the size of that.
Well, it's Kmart and I are pretty skinny, so yeah, there's a lot of room and not so much. I mean, between Jared and Joe and the CPAP, it's a different experience every time, for sure. So lots to look forward to on the next trip. So okay, let's get back on the rails here. Mid-July, we're desperate for football. We got training camps opening in 10 days. I think Kyle, does Niners open the 26th? Is that right?
It sounds right.
Something like
I
that.
don't really care about training camp, but yeah, it sounds right.
I just care about training.
I look forward to the meaningless preseason games because then it's just it's something.
It just means you're one step closer to the real thing, and we'll take whatever we can get. Started reading a few previews for the season. Chris, you and I were texting a little bit. I'm teaching summer school, so I'm bored out of my fucking mind, trying not to stab my eyeballs out every single day. So I was texting Chris a little bit, some trends, some win total shit, and God, we need it. We need it bad. I can't do I enjoy baseball, but I can't do the betting on baseball every single day. It's exhausting. Anybody what are people degening on?
Nerfy. That's it. I just follow the Nerfy guy and I just hammer his. Luckily, it won today, so I don't have to go crazy tomorrow. Because Chris has seen those Sundays where he's like, "What's happening?" It's like everyone sucks. I'll just hammer everybody, thinking they're due for a win. They all lose. He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I follow people." But yeah, no, I don't know. It's fun. Like, you know me. First to 10, first to 15. It's kind of like that. Just get it over with instead of sweating out that Mets game tonight. Like, I don't know, get it over with. You know, baseball season. That's kind of worked for me the last 2 years.
Jared, you hammering anything this summer? You taking a break? What are you doing?
That Texas Day Brazil got hammered tonight, but I've been abstaining from bets pretty regularly. Kind of been booking a little bit through Chris's site, but from a couple buddies of mine. So, but kind of abstained a little bit.
What are they hitting? Are they betting stupid shit or baseball, golf?
Like a lot of like golf, like outright winners, and just it's so hard to hit those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if we touch on the Open Championship here. No beach volleyball or anything exotic though, right? Nobody's getting too crazy.
No, I might go to the Hermosa Open with Todd.
Okay, he's probably betting on that shit.
You should
maybe. I've actually never checked if I didn't even know you could bet on beach volleyball outside the Olympics.
I don't know. Chris, you would know. Can you?
I think so. I mean, I'd need to check next time. I thought you could, but sorry.
Well, ask me next pod because something might happen at the AVP Hermosa Open.
Yeah, let me know if you don't see it there. I can ask because if there's a market for it, then we can get darts up there. We can get volleyball up there.
That's right. Darts. God damn it. So yeah, probably last show without actual football talk for a little bit. We're gonna try to sneak one more in before the end of July and have a guest on that one. We'll see if it works out. Want to ask her about her off-season prep. Yeah, you heard it. You heard me say her. That's as specific as I'll get right now, but we'll see if we can get her on. We are doing the poop versus bait. That's Chris's baby. He texted me back in March about doing this, and we finally got around to it during July. And I don't know, Chris, what are you looking for with this? What do you expect to happen? You want to let people know kind of what the deal is with this? We're kind of just choosing one game per day.
Yeah, we're not doing any fat faves or dogs. It's more of just which would also be fun, like Kmart mentioned. You could pick one big dog, because there's always those scum teams like the A's and the Royals, Rockies, stuff like that. But we're doing more of the ones that are around like a pick'em or -115 that are just like, why is this team that's 20 games over 500 only -130 over a team that's 10 games under 500, stuff like that. So it was off to a hot start. I think it was 3-1 or 4-2. Now it's
3-1, yeah.
5-6. So it's tiny bit down like a unit, Matt, or something like that, 1.3 units. So it's been fun. It's just I kind of wanted to do it because I wanted to see in July can just pick that team that's a what the fuck line, this team should win. And you've texted me twice now, Matt, yesterday with the Giants, free money, and then today with the Dodgers, free money. So but it's been cool to see some of the dogs. They've all been scrapped. Matt, what is 4 or 5 of them out of 7 went to extras, so it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
they've been scrapped.
And they all lose every time. I think every single one that's gone to extras is lost.
Yeah,
maybe
you got one, but yeah, there's been a lot.
And Matt, you're conversely keeping track. Sorry, I was gonna say you're keeping track of what the fishy line is too, right? The bait line, how many units they'd be up. Yeah,
both. Yeah. So I mean, we've had 11 games so far because we had the All-Star break, and if you just take the bait, you're 6-5 and you're up a quarter of a unit. So
yeah. I was curious what that number was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and that's the number I'm kind of looking at because it's as I said, what do I bet? You like to hammer something, free money. It's It's like you see in the long run how that's not successful. That's why regardless whether the poop wins, comes out profitable or not, like that, if that number isn't that substantial, you're gonna lose in the long run. Just kind of just going, gonna pick here, because you can see already it's basically 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been doing ones where the poop hasn't even been that plus money. We've had some where the poop is kind of like today, the Mets actually were, at least at our book, were
minus 120 is where I saw it.
Yeah, so it's like, but yeah, it came out like you said, and we're not doing parlays or whatever. We know you can pick 2 or 3 faves and parlay them, but it's kind of cool to see, like, hey, how long run, like if I'm going to do this over months, is this kind of a successful way of going? And so it'll be kind of cool to see at the end of 30 days which one yields more.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out by the end of the month. Okay. We got Joe from Havasu about to hop on.
Oh,
on a scale of 1 to 10, you can go over 10.
11.
Let's go around the horn real quick. How blacked is Joe going to be? Chris, you say 11. Kyle?
I was going to say 12, but I'll go with like a 9.5.
Jared?
R. He's so fucking.
Don't sell me short, Jared. Don't
sell me.
I'm just here for Jared. I don't care about anybody else.
Fuck yeah.
What are you drinking, Dad?
I got a Dos Equis here because fuck Bud Light and yeah.
How many? Which Dos Equis? Third, fourth? How many you got? How many you?
At this location, 2. My campsite about 50 yards that way, 17.
17.
No. I don't drink Dos Equis though, but it's more like it is what it is here. Here, say hi, Dennis. You're on the podcast. What's up?
Dennis.
Is that the Dennis?
He's a big. That's not the Dennis, but it is a Dennis. He's a ginger though, so he's basically Jared's brother. What's up, Dad?
Yeah.
Hear that? You said, "What's up, Dads?"
What's up, Dad?
What up?
What's going on, Dennis? You taking care of Joe?
You taking care of me?
Dude, always.
That's a fucking full-time job.
Yeah.
Joe's a project, buddy.
How's the podcast going? What are we doing? What are we talking about right now?
We just finished talking about Chris's bait versus poop, and now we're just kind of shooting the shit. So what do you want to talk about, Dad?
I want to talk about the Steelers covering the spread in week 1.
Oh, wow. He's ready for week 1.
That's a good fucking conversation right there.
Steelers are moneyline Steelers week 1 lock of the century.
Wow.
Stone cold lead pipe lock. Put it in now.
And Joe's going to be there.
Bet of my life.
What if Sam Darnold starts?
I would rather you start than Sam Darnold. I still bet. I'd rather have Jared come in his hand and then fucking start, and then fucking Steelers are going to win that game.
Joe, I think Dos Equis is owned by InBev, a.k.a. Budweiser.
I don't know what you said, Chris. You're bald.
All right, Joe. Well, thanks for checking in with us, Dad. We're glad
I'm ruining the podcast. Love you guys. I'm
glad you're having a good time.
Love you, Dad.
Love you guys. Love you, Jared.
Love
First
you.
time I've talked to you this week. It's fine.
Hey, I text you. I love you too, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Later.
I love you too, buddy.
Joe's having a great time in Havasu. Hope he makes it back okay. All right. So I don't know how to segue from that, but talking about having some beers and having a good time. Was watching the celebrity golf tournament a little bit earlier today, and we were talking about that in our group chat a little bit. It's a phenomenal event for those not living in California or Northern California who've seen it on TV and want to go. would absolutely recommend you check it out. When I used to live up there, we would go pretty often back when MJ was still playing. So I remember MJ. I don't know. The kids might not have heard of him anymore, but
Yeah.
he'd just be cruising around with his stogie in the round. It was great. He's got the cigar going on, but he doesn't play in it anymore. But a lot of good guys do. Barkley played back then, and Barkley still is there today. And Jared, you had a great Charles story from when you would attend. It's been a while since you were there, but you got a good Barkley story, yeah?
Yeah, I think I've been 3 times in total. The first time we went was like 2010, and we were at the hotel. We were getting shit housed, and like, hey, let's go to the tournament. So we show up, and the first hole we walk on, I don't remember. It's a par 3, little short par 3. We walk up, and we're feeling it already. And I'm standing there, and it's Charles Barkley's group comes up to the hole. They tee off, and Barkley puts one like 6 feet from where I'm standing. And this was 2010, so that Barkley had gone through one of his, weight loss things or whatever, where he was on it. He was actually looking pretty good. And, 2010, I wasn't as fat as I am now. So I asked him, he walked up to me, and the ball stood next to his ball. And I said, hey, Charles, you lost a little bit of weight, dude. What are you trying to do? Look like me or what? And he looked back at me, and then looked back to his ball, and then looked back at me again. And he goes, says it loud. He goes, man, I bet your wife cooks real good, huh? And the whole entire crowd just lost it, man. They're laughing. He came up to me, shook my hand, and took a picture. And that's how the kind of conversation came up today, is I got that picture hanging in my hallway, me and Charles Barkley. And, I'm 6'2", and Charles dwarfs me in that picture. So, I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, we trailed him, or we followed him the rest of his. I think he had probably 9 or 10 more holes to go after that. Dude, he was shooting the shit with us. It was a really cool experience. And then after the round's done, you go to, there's the picture. There it is.
There it is.
That's Jared with hair. That's Chris
crazy.
Said. And so we go to the casino at night, and you go and play cards or whatever, and play in the poker room. And I sat next to Don Cheadle for a couple of hours. I talked baseball with Greg Maddox while we were playing cards. I mean, it's just, for me, I've never been like over the top on like celebrities or musicians, but it's always been that way with sports, athletes and stuff like that. And just to have that kind of access, and to know that, they're normal. I mean, at least for the most part, normal people. It was really cool. I mean, and like I said, I think back then, 2010, I think I went 2010, 2011, and I think probably like 2015, I think it was the last time I went. Dude, it was like for one day pass. I don't think it was more than like $25 to go. And Edgewood's beautiful golf course, absolutely amazing golf course.
Jared,
It's
normal
so cool.
besides the 5K BJ hands, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so in 2010, I think was like Steph's like second year in the league. Dude, we were sitting there and we were both playing $25 hand blackjack. At the same, I was sitting right next to him at the table, and this dude, he's making, $700,000 a year on his rookie deal, and I'm making, $3,700 a month on my rookie deal. So,
wow.
But yeah, it was cool, dude. Awesome. Like Barkley's the best. I mean, everyone in Tahoe loves him. He gets so much money donated to, the I guess, the Keep Tahoe Blue Fund or whatever, up there. They love him. I guess he's not doing it anymore, but yeah, dude, they love him up there. It's just, it's such a good time. I can't oversell how fun a time it is.
Well, so you're right. Edgewood's beautiful. And where the course is, there's not that many hotels around there. So they're like you're going to run into somebody if you just kind of hang out, you go through the casino. You get there early in the week when those guys are playing practice rounds. Like, they're just hanging out. They're on vacation too. So you're going to run into somebody somewhere. There's not that much room and stuff to do. So it's so fun. I mean, God, when I used to go, as a kid, we had our little autograph book. I mean, we had Mario Lemieux's autograph. We had Peyton Manning's autograph. Trying to remember who Jordan used to play back then. He doesn't play anymore. Ben Roethlisberger doesn't
way
go
Jordan
anymore
signed
for
it for
you
you.
know. What's up?
I was gonna say, there's no way Jordan signed something for you.
No, I don't think Jordan was too into signing stuff,
No,
but
he's not.
it's different now. I mean, like the 17th hole, the par 3, where everybody's lined up right on the beach, and those guys will throw footballs out onto boats and shit. Like it's a party over there.
Yeah, there's
we got to go.
Watching it on TV, there's a lot more people now.
Yeah. I think it's been going for like 30 some odd years. I think they said there's 2 guys that have played in all 34, maybe. Jack Wagner, and then fucking Jim McMahon was out there in a boot. He looked like Chris stumbling around out there. They said he's played in every single one, and he was having a hard time moving around. But I mean, credit to him he's like, I'm not missing one of these. So, and they got some. I mean, I don't know if Timberlake's there this year. He's been going the last few years. Curry's and Mahomes is there. Kelsey's there. So, yeah, it's a great time. We got to get up there soon. Josh Allen was there. Yeah. All right. And we got a lot of Tahoe connections in the group, Kyle. 4 years ago, man.
Yeah, Kyle, thanks for
4 years ago, I got married on 7/20.
Crazy, dude. Was it Sunday? Was it a Sunday? Was it a Sunday?
No, it was a Saturday.
It was. Okay, because I remember, because it was the weekend of the Open Championship, and that's the one where Lowry kind of ran away with it. And so that must have been the morning after the wedding. We were watching Lowry.
Yeah.
Me, Neil. I don't know if you guys know Neil. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was there. Cox was there, and we were just watching Lowry celebrate coming up the 18th, and that was a really cool Open. So, yeah, it's hard to believe that was 4 years ago, but Tahoe. I mean, if people haven't been to Tahoe, come on, you gotta go.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's so cool. Whether it's the summer or the winter, it's awesome. So, well, shoot, we wanted this to be a quick pod. I guess we can kind of wrap it up. Anybody thinking about how much are we thinking about NFL right now? Joe's already got his week 1 best
I
bet.
already watching the game behind you, so
I
yeah,
already sent fucking the Steelers +3, and Joe's like, "Why don't you wait?" And now it's 2.5. I'm like, "Fuck you! I got the field goal." So, and sorry, Kmart, because Matt texted me about that one trend. I did just book Bengals under 11.5 wins. Get fucked.
Ooh.
So 11-6. 11-6 is fine.
I mean, it's fine. Like they're just my little baby team. Like it's fun to root for. I love Burrow. It's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, I want the Niners to win the Super Bowl. Like I agree with you. Fuck them. Like, but they're fun to cheer for.
10-7.
What was the reason, Chris? Do you remember what we were talking about?
It was teams who won between, like, was it 11 and 13, something like it's like over double digits back-to-back years at like was it like some kind of overachievement, like they went over their win total by more than 2 or 3 wins or something like that.
Yeah, something about overachieving. And then there was another one where it was like, I mean, double-digit win totals in general, other than the Brady Patriots, are like, it was like 40%, right, that they go over if it's double-digit win total.
If you don't include them, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think the Dads cashed on a few of them last year, right? I mean, there were definitely people on Tampa Bay under.
And I'd love to go. I forget. I mean, I have a spreadsheet somewhere, but I don't think I've ever bet so many season win totals and like futures, Vikings to win the division, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I had a good season, but I don't know if I'll do it again. Who knows? I mean, I did a lot during our previews. Everyone here made good points, and then I was like, you know what? That is a good bet. So, I mean, a lot of it had to do with you guys. Neil's really good into that stuff too. And
who?
I know he'll be back.
Who?
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah, man, I have it pulled up, but we'll save it for the.
Yeah, we can save it. We got all August
go over. Yeah.
To debate that one. Jared, how many are the Bills winning this year?
Just the big one. That's all that matters. Just the big one.
Doesn't matter until the big one.
I love all of this Jets, Dolphins talk. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Is that the window closing? Uh-oh.
Yeah, a window's closing. I think it's this year. See you in a decade.
Oh shit.
Like, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just saying that window, like.
Oh no, it's definitely closing. But I mean, when that motherfucker was wide open, I mean, now it's 97% open. So got a chance.
I was out of town at a wedding last weekend, and there was a dude there who was born and raised in Colorado, but he's a Bills fan. I'm like, okay, how does that work? He's like, oh, my dad grew up loving the Bills, and it just passed. And that happens a lot in the NFL, right? It's kind of who your parents grew up, and you sort of take after that. And I asked him, I said, what is it like being a Bills fan? Because he was too young to remember the early 90s team. So he's like, well, it's kind of weird. And he talked about it from his dad's perspective. He's like, so they've never won, but they lost those 4 in a row. But it was so long ago, and you just haven't been back, and you were in kind of that no man's land purgatory for so long. And now you've got the guy that gives you the chance, but you haven't gotten there yet. So it sounded miserable, honestly.
It's rough, man. It's hard. You know, it's always thinking that, you know, the shit's going to go the wrong way. You know, you have it locked up, you know, 13 seconds, you know,
dude, it's crazy.
It's been like this fucking franchise the past 12 years.
But at least for the Niners, because honestly, we kind of talked about this on our last pod when I was feeling sorry for myself about the Sharks after the Golden Knights won the Cup. At least the Niners, you've got the 5 that you can fall back on, right? Like
we're almost talking 30 years too, you know?
I know, but at least your team has won shit. Like, I mean, for the Bills, you don't have anything.
And they've been back to the Super Bowl. The Bills haven't even been back to the Super Bowl.
I wasn't comparing them, you know, equally. I was just saying I can understand with what's happened to them in the previous 12
Cowboys, right? The Cowboys can't even sniff a one again after being dominant. But I mean, Jared, what makes you a Bills fan? Jared, you got family or pop?
See, I was a free agent, man. So my parents, no sports at all. So no basketball, no nothing. So when I was a kid, everyone that I grew up around, they were Cowboys fans or Raiders fans. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll be a Cowboys fan. And so watch the Super Bowl. The Cowboys absolutely smashed the Bills. And at the end of that game, Leon Lett, I can't remember who fumbled, but Leon Lett recovered that fumble and ran all the way down and was prancing at the end. And this little white receiver ran all the way down and knocked it out. That was Don Beebe, knocked the ball out. And I said, at that point, I said, fuck it. I go, I'm a Bills fan. And ever since then, that day, little old 7-year-old fucking fat Bills fan has been a Bills fan.
I'm so glad you knew it was Don Beebe. I was like, how the hell are you a Bills fan if you don't know who made that play? I was about to call you out.
Did you ever waver? Did you ever think about picking up a different, or have you just been, I mean, once you decided that was it?
I've been a Bills fan. I've been a UCLA fan since my existence. The only team that I've ever wavered on is when I was a kid. Just like if you were an 80s baby, you were a Jordan fan. So I was a Bulls fan. And so when Jordan retired,
the Bulls.
It was the same year that Shaq came into the league. So I was like, dude, fuck it. I'm going to pick a new team. I was, 9, 10 years old. I'm going to be an Orlando fan. So then I was an Orlando fan for a couple of years. And then when Shaq went to the Lakers, I said, fuck that. I can't be a Lakers fan because everyone's Lakers fans. So I dropped that, and I haven't had an NBA team. But last month, I bought my 9-year-old and a Jaime Jaquez Miami Heat jersey. So we might be on the Miami Heat bandwagon, or if there is a bandwagon.
Dude, he looked good in Summer League.
Yeah, dude. He's my favorite college basketball player of all time. Plus, he's half Mexican too, which I think is fucking badass. So
yeah, I mean, even
first guy since Eduardo Nájera.
No, Nájera was from Mexico. Yeah. Dude, Jaquez is just from Camarillo, so.
Man, we 35 minutes in, we made it to Eduardo Nájera. So that may be our cue to get out of here. So here's the plan. We will try to sneak in one more show in July. If not, we'll be back early August. We'll get some formal NFL previews going. We'll do one on win totals. We'll do one on maybe futures, divisions, stuff like that. And then once we get later into August, we'll start looking ahead to week 1. So,
We'll
and then we got to get
football, right?
Got to do one about college. We got to get that in. So we got a lot of people we can bring on for those. So good times coming up. We just got to make it through July. So moms and dads, enjoy the summertime. Don't get too crazy with your bets. Avoid the darts. Avoid the beach volleyball.
Unless you're there.
Unless you're there. Unless you're at the Hermosa Beach Open.
Love
Jared,
you guys.
Thanks for hanging out, Dad.
Absolutely. Love being here.
Chris, what happens sometimes when you bet on poop?
You might be tied going into the 8th, and the Mets bullpen gives up 5, and you're dead. Thanks for riding with us, Kmart.